are back. Naniwa defeats Puzzle. I think it was probably one of the best PvP series we've had. I'm dead serious.
It was good, man.
It was really good.
Times. There were some mistakes here and there, but very exciting stuff.
Complex strats, a variety of strats as well.
Yep. Well, next we're going to have TVT action. We had one mirror, now another, and then we get 2 non-mirrors, and then maybe a mirror again.
Wow.
Just letting you guys know how today's going to go.
You get me pumped, man.
I'm like, there's 2 Terran and 2 Protoss. Also, we're going to be casting it. All right, this is Group G, match 2. That guy versus this guy.
Guy on the left versus guy on the right.
There's Ryung versus MVP. Maps on dual site.
One's yawning and stretching, the other is not.
You're watching us on the internet.
Yeah, man. It's true. Or they could have hooked it up to the... Oh, I guess we're still on the internet.
Yeah, I guess we are, Tasteless. You silly duck. You funny goose.
I'm not a duck, Dan. I'm like, hey, I'm not a goose, Dan.
Why you got a bill, then? Why you got that duck bill, Tasteless?
Duck lips. Bang. Bang.
Go, Tasteless. It's your time to shine.
This is the part where I go, get ready, because this is the GSL Codex. I'm actually drinking a Hot 6 right now.
How's that?
It's good, man. Tastes like Hot 6. Steamy Hot 6. In the upper right,
I like it cool.
we have our Terran player, 1 of 2, a TVT expert. His ID is...
Slayer's Ryung.
Gotta make sure you got everything out of your eyes when you're playing. And in the bottom left, he was the best player in the world. He's trying to reclaim his throne. We call him the Game Genie Terran. His ID is...
I am MVP.
All right. Will he make a comeback here today, Tasteless? He's really been a bit under-impressive lately compared to what he was.
Well,
back when he used to win everything all the time.
Yeah, he was. He's been off the map for a little while now.
Yeah, he's
because there was a period where he was like, he was winning everything. He was ruining esports.
Yeah, and now he hasn't won anything for a little bit.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe this will be his tournament where he gets to come back. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. I kind of miss the days with MVP just crushing face. Nest's still kind of hung around. He hasn't won, but he's been right up at the top of stuff. In fact, he did win one tournament.
Now this is very telling about how much faith people have in MVP. You know, compared to Ryung,
3-time champion, man.
Yeah, 3-time champion. Well, I mean, it's not a shocker, but you know, when we saw him fall off the map like that, you kind of would expect, well, maybe people would start to think he's going to stay off the map, but apparently not. People are very confident he's going to get out of this group.
Yep. I'm actually uber excited to see on this map dual site if either player is going to choose to go for mech. It's always one of the things you want to watch for early in the game. They both open with gases.
As you can see here, the history of MVP, he has been a beast.
Oh, yeah.
Throughout esports history.
Look at that. Champion, runner-up, round of 4, round of 4. And actually that runner-up one should have probably ended up winning. It's, he's unbelievably impressive, but he needs to keep it up, man. Now is the time when everyone is getting so frighteningly good.
Now, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Artos.
I was just going to say how good everyone is, man.
Ryung is somebody we saw a lot more in the team league.
Yeah. He's a great sniper.
Yeah, he was great at sniping other Terrans, which also probably would have been great several seasons ago when we only had Terrans in Codex. But right now we're seeing a lot of Protoss success this season, so it's going to be interesting to see if he let's say he beats MVP, can he perform at the same level against one of these two really heavy hitter Protosses?
Yep. Well, Ryung looks like he's going to be going for the Medevac Hellion Marine opening. It's a nice aggressive little opening. And in the meantime, MVP does look like he's going to go for just a single Banshee, or a second Banshee as well, with just Hellions and Marines. No cloak, of course, because he's only got one gas. So a lot of this will be micro-based in the early part of the game, because both of them will just have a reasonable amount of Hellions. There will be a few more units out for Ryung, but the Banshee's going to be very useful until Ryung does get out a Viking.
Now the Hellion is here just to peek. He's not actually expecting to do any damage. It's kind of like when you see a Zergling pop up the ramp and then go back down. But with the 2 Hellions here, he could have sort of a minor contain. It looks like what he wants to do here, if I'm reading this correctly, is MVP wants to get the Banshee inside the main and draw the Marines away, and then try to run up the ramp with the Hellions. I don't know if it's going to work. We're going to see. Ryung's pretty good. I mean, in general.
The thing is, we're so close to Ryung's base, he can actually just kind of walk down this ramp pretty soon here and do a good job. In fact, he went Viking first, which is going to help him out immensely. And in fact, MVP's going to have to run. He's going to lose all those Marines. His Hellions will get away, but his Banshee might not.
Yeah.
He doesn't know about that Viking yet. He doesn't know.
Okay, blindsided by the Viking. He actually flew into the Viking.
Ryung in a great spot.
He's not getting cloak either.
No,
no. That was kind of pitiful when we saw that one shot on the Hellion as he flew by.
So MVP,
he's like, I guess I'll damage this one and die.
MVP is actually in a lot of trouble, Tasteless.
Yeah, he basically got hard countered.
Yeah, that's what happened. I mean, he's playing. His Banshees did 0, less than 0. They did absolutely nothing. His little contain up there, he only lost units on, didn't kill anything. But he does have siege tanks now. He's pumping out those siege tanks. Ryung's starting his siege tanks as well. I mean, MVP's not about to die, but Ryung definitely took a nice, strong early lead there.
All right, Hellion's coming down now. I don't think this is a situation either player wants to engage the other end.
Oh, yeah. With that siege tank there, Ryung is going to say, all right, I guess I'll just have to be happy with my expansion. Of course, MVP did get his command center started a little bit earlier on because he wasn't investing quite as much money into his Marines as Ryung was with that reactored barracks.
As you can see, the nerds on Twitter excited about MVP and excited about Naniwa.
And they should be, guys.
They should be.
Add us on Twitter. I'm Artosices. Call me Tasteless. Let us know what you're thinking as well.
Yeah, tweet us. Tweet at GOMTV. And it's just another great way that you guys can interact with the show.
All right, so right now, it does look like both players are going to opt for biocentric play, which is fine after the openings that we saw.
Yeah.
I would love to see mech, but meh. What
Meh.
can you do, man? Only some people are brave enough to go mech.
Well, it actually looks like Ryung is going to try to move out again. You know, that ramp that we saw at MVP's base when he was on the high ground, that acted sort of like a funnel, so things like Hellions are going to do so much damage if you're trying to go up or down it. But on the low ground, Ryung might have a little bit more of an edge, but as I'm saying that, Ryung moves back. It looks more like he's trying to... Terra Mysterion is such a positional based matchup that we will see players kind of swim through the map, taking certain positions, taking certain towers, trying to get a read to see if maybe I can go around my opponent, maybe I can blindside him, or flank him.
Well, right now it's going to be just a slight positional game. Ryung going to hold the center a little bit more. MVP will eventually come out and start challenging him for that, but with Marine Tank against Marine Tank, you're just looking for a few good engagements. And right now, neither of them can really do that. It's just too dangerous. They don't have stim. They don't have medevacs with that. And you need to have your stim, your medevacs, your combat shields, because if you're trying to engage against siege tanks with unupgraded Marines, we just won't see it. It's not going to happen.
All right, stim and combat shields on the way. And nice little scan here. You see the 2 barracks there is a pretty clear tell as to what exactly is going on. So, I have a question, Artosis, actually.
Sure.
I don't think we're going to have an engagement until... no, okay, I was right. I was thinking until right now. No, never mind. I'll shut up again. All right, so the attack's going to happen up here. He looks like he's going to push forward. He will not engage into the siege tanks. Okay, so inside of the main base of Ryung, in the back, all the depots are landed. Do you think that's good, or do you think it's better to leave them up?
Down or up?
Down or up.
It's actually a very hard choice. Here's the thing. If they drop behind depots that are down, then you have to not only run your units in there, but also drop your depots.
Right.
So it's just a choice of what way you want to actually react. Now, do you want to land them, have them up so that the Marines, if he drops on the edge of your base, they don't get the SCVs as easily? Or
Yeah,
are you,
that's what I was thinking.
Or are you quickly going to move the SCVs? This is basically he's showing that he has faith in himself to get those SCVs out of there before significant losses.
I love talking about this. I mean, it's almost a minutia, but
No,
it's these
actually,
little things that a lot of people don't think about.
A top tier Terran pro gamer is going to have to think of, like, do I want these up or down? It's actually something that you have to question.
In some locations in your base, you might want to have them up.
Yeah.
In other places, down. And I'm not talking about just the wall end.
And I mean, that's it for a lot of lower levels. It's obviously not going to matter as much. There's a lot of other stuff to work on, but I mean, eventually every pylon and stuff like that.
Sick block.
Yeah, nice block indeed. Now, you guys might notice that there has been an increase in supply lead by Ryung, just slightly, without anything really happening.
I think it's from the engagement earlier.
Well, what it's truly from is MVP decided to get his upgrades for Marines quicker, so he got 2 tech labs as opposed to the 2 reactors of Ryung. So, as you see, Ryung still doesn't have STEM, but he has a few more units. So it's just a little trade-off that you can choose to do if you like. Yeah, I mean, it's... Both of them have their strengths and their weaknesses. So,
all right. The Marines, siege tanks, Hellions, still moving around the map. Ryung has a little bit more dominance. If you guys have noticed, he's been able to move around a little bit more. That's MVP erring on the side of caution here. And here's where suddenly, they're going to stand their ground for here. Mm-hmm. He's right now. Ryung is saying, okay, I have the watchtower. I see him. We're close enough. I don't want him to go up any further because I want to expand there.
By the way, I just got to throw out real quick. If you look at the production tab, they're basically building the exact same things all at the exact same times. Their third base is getting up at the same time. Their additional reactors, their additional factories. This is just...
They're like doing the exact same thing. I want to reiterate what I told you. They're basically building the exact same stuff at the exact same time, especially the upper left part.
And that's how you have to do it. They've gotten their Marine upgrades. They have a good number of siege tanks. And now it's like, well, now we need more siege tanks as well.
We got a drop coming up here. And that Marine talking to the goat, I'm not sure if he actually saw it.
No, he did not actually. Was skirting over some of the high ground where the Marine should have been able to see it.
All right.
That is sneaky.
Damn, this is like... Mission Impossible stuff going on over here.
No, it's not Mission Impossible stuff. I don't see any iPhones or iPads, so...
Oh, that's true, actually. Well, you don't know what's inside there. All right, a small drop over here. This is to try to pull MVP, his main army a little bit further back. It's not going to bite the bait, but he does get the reactor, and...
meh.
Not really too impactful,
guys. Really not impactful. I mean, the amount of Marines that aren't going to be produced.
But the Vikings here are going to have a very nice interception.
Oh my god, he loses 1 Viking, but gets it. Okay, so that actually worked out well.
A little trade there.
Yeah. Medevac does cost more than a Viking. All right, and here we go. Ryung trying to move in here, and he's catching some siege tanks before they siege all the way. And a nice little positional move there by Ryung. He takes a lead. So actually the first real lead of the game that we see right there.
That was the first real engagement. Meanwhile, a little mini drop over here. But an attack over here will save this command center, so you can land that command center now.
And look at this.
And so Ryung,
oh man, he lost a medevac with a lot of Marines in it.
Whoa, I can't believe he's sending SCVs. Why is he sending SCVs? Why on earth would you ever send SCVs of all the things you could send in that situation?
Ryung actually might. He's in a very good spot now. It's 43 SCVs to 70, and
I can't believe he sent SCVs.
He got siege tanks, and he got some SCVs there. But he's got to be careful. He doesn't have enough Marines near his tanks right now. MVP actually could bust that area. Absolutely could bust this so easily by spreading his Marines, stemming from the high ground and the low ground and running in, and he could just drop
on the siege tanks as well.
That's true.
Now it looks like, meanwhile, Ryung is going to come down here and hit... no, not the third, excuse me.
Looks like he may even want to flank here. Just getting into a good position. Oh, man. MVP's actually being completely outplayed right now.
Yeah, MVP is getting owned pretty badly, actually.
And he is going to go after those siege tanks, but the siege tanks at the natural do go. So that was a good bust by Ryung. I'm glad that, by MVP. It's good that he did that, or the game would be already over.
All right, here we go. He's got to go for the siege tanks. He's going to target down everything perfectly here.
A big spread by Ryung with the siege tanks being worth
Oh my god, I think that is actually the nail in the coffin.
Yeah. MVP at this point, man. I mean, he's on a 55 supply to 47. 23 SCVs is 74. He's got almost no units. Ryung is on 3 base. Yeah, MVP is, but
I think that's
he's
basically
barely
GG.
mining. I'm actually kind of in shock. MVP is not impressing me. I'm so used to just being like, God, he's the best. But
no, he's like, he hasn't even lifted his orbital. I think he's actually had to lose his orbital.
GG.
GG.
Doesn't lose it. Game ends before that.
Oh, no. Blew up just that. All right.
Ryung stays in the game long enough to kill it.
He's like, I kills over CJ, yeah, I could have left off.
He like wins the game and he's like, no, I'd like to continue playing, and then destroys all the buildings.
Drinking his orange juice. It's like vitamin C.
Vitamin C is good for you.
Thank you, Tasteless, for that gem.
Somebody's
Did you used to be a personal trainer?
I was.
All right.
I
just had to check.
Somebody's drinking Sunny D right now. They don't understand there's no vitamin C in Sunny D.
No, they put it in. They put vitamin C in.
They put vitamin C in Sunny D. Are you serious? I thought Sunny D was supposed to be terrible for you.
Oh no, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, things can be terrible for you and have nutrients in them. Dude, I could put a vitamin inside of like a dead rat that's infested with bacteria, and guess what? That rat suddenly has a lot of nutrients in him, but
he's right.
He's not good for you. Don't eat him, Tasteless. Why would you eat a dead rat that's rotting? That's
I'll put the dead rat down right now.
Jeez,
I'm so
man.
sorry.
Don't let a cat eat it. Just listen. Put it in a trash bag. Go wash your hands.
Yeah.
Just because it has vitamins in it, Tasteless. I swear, man. This guy, all he cares about is his vitamin C. All right, so
all I knew is that Sunny D wasn't that good for you.
No, Sunny D's terrible for you, man. It's all sugar. It's sugar water. God,
it's gonna go into game number 2.
That's right. Well, MVP must have been drinking Sunny D, man, this morning because his
MVP actually got beat pretty badly.
They did basically the same exact builds, and then MVP was out of position slightly. Ryung took a tiny lead, and the thing is, those C-Chinks, he could have crushed those C-Chinks real quick, but instead he sent all his SCVs, as you were saying. It's like, well, he's like, okay, you got units in my base. Here's my SCVs for my main. Here.
Yeah.
And then Ryung's like, oh, okay, thanks.
No, he made no sense. Basically, Ryung's like, sitting there going, well, the whole point of the game was for me to actually eventually kill your SCVs, but I'm supposed to have to try.
And then after he does that, he's like, well, I'm not going to clean that up. I'm just going to let you get in position on the other side while I think about cleaning that up. It was actually just terrible by MVP.
It was very disappointing.
All right, we'll see, though. Game 2, Tasteless.
Blame us on Twitter, and if you don't feel anything, that was actually a terrible game by him. Let's see if he can. Let's see if he can do better this time. I mean, this is Code S.